Welcome. This is Mark Schuyler, SAT tutor to the stars, and I'm here to give a really short segment today on the simple sentence. We got to start with a simple sentence before we build our way up to some pretty complicated sentence structures that we'll get to 3, 4, 5 segments down the road. A simple sentence goes by many names. I've heard it called a main clause. I've heard it called an independent clause. A simple sentence, a main clause, an independent clause, they're all the same thing. They have a subject, at least one that's implied. We'll talk about an implied subject in a moment. But they might have some very simple subject like George. And they'll have a verb, and the verb is the predicate. So the subject predicate together, verb like walked, George walked. Yes, what a sentence. George walked is a simple sentence. Pretty boring, a little short, a little babyish. So we're going to throw in some modifiers. We're going to say Big George walked slowly. One of those modifiers is an adjective, big, and one is an adverb. But they do modify the noun subject and the verb predicate nicely. Big George walked slowly. I'm having this image of George Washington right now, who actually was a big man for his day and a commanding presence, sort of like yours truly. And I am going to expand it even a little bit more, my simple sentence. Simple sentences are relatively short, at least when compared to compound and complex sentences. But let's add a prepositional phrase. Big George walked slowly to Fort Sumter. No, he wasn't at Fort Sumter. He walked slowly to, what was that snowy place in New York? Valley Forge. Big George walked slowly, and can you blame him? To Valley Forge. There we go. It's a little bit longer. Still a simple sentence. It was a prepositional phrase, to Valley Forge, because prepositions are little words that show position in time or space. And so they're words like in, on, with, by, to. And a prepositional phrase, a phrase is a group of words. To Valley Forge is our prepositional phrase. And by the way, all prepositional phrases start with prepositions. It's kind of convenient. Sometimes grammar even makes sense. We do want to learn how to turn this sentence into something a little longer, a little more interesting, a little less babyish. So we're going to make it into a compound sentence next. And here we go.